Welcome everyone to my channel, and I even wouldn't do a long intro. I will admit right away that I couldn't stop to read this series of the book, and how every one of you understands that it's a Akatar. And today we will discuss with you this book is A Court of Mist and Fury. Ta-dam! Does anyone of you have this feeling when you start reading a new book of series and you start to be worried and at the same time have a hope that it would be all series of the book very well writing? Because usually how we all know it's like first book is good, the best usually, second already not so good, third already worse and worse and worse and worse. So if you haven't seen my review of the first book, welcome to my page and you can find it there. Probably I can put link under this video that it would be easy to find it. And you would know that I really like this book first. The series would be, I hope I would like also. And yes, and I was like a little bit worried how it would be on the second book, and second book is good as first book. They a little bit different, but it's like totally fine because characters supposed to growing, supposed to progressing of their skills, their feelings, their actions of everything. So for sure, second book supposed to be in some way different than first, right? Usually, first book of any series it's more like intro, whereas after you try to introduce characters to you and describe the world to you, that you would be like more understanding what's going on, who is who, and after first book it usually shows more actions, more moves, more of their life, and I'm happy that we with Sarah thinking the same. And the first book, if you read, you understand that we more try to meet with the characters, try to more see their world, their life, try to understand how they're thinking, how they living, like more understand how they react to some stuff, what happened in their life, because second and third and others book it would be like already more concentrate for their progress, how they changing, and that's like what is really cool because in our life we are changing all the time, we're not like in the same position, and we see that if it's like some trouble, maybe they would be have another attitude, another some actions to this, and that's like very cool when you see that your favorite characters became more growing and more progressing. This book is totally worthy continuation of the series, and if you have some hesitation to buy next book or not, or just stay in the first book and enjoy it, because who knows what it would be next books, yes, it's definitely worth to buy it, and
I'd buy that for $1.
it would be more describing, more open, more understandable what's going on. Even even if I was busy this day, I still was finished this book for 2 days. Like I didn't have so much time to read, but still I finished pretty fast because it's like once make you that you are reading more and more and more. Sometimes you're thinking like, oh, I start to become bored. And what I like about these books that when you think this, it's right away something happen, what you gain once read and understand what it would be next. So this book I will rate 5 stars from the 5 because it's the same good how it was the first book, a little bit different. We will talk about this when it would be spoilers, but if you are thinking to buy or not to buy, definitely buy. Second book is the same good how it's first and it's the same 5 stars how it was the first. And maybe it's not so much to study from this book, but I promise if you like fantasy, if you like love stories, so this book definitely would be worth your attention. Welcome to the spoiler part of my video where we discuss more deeper this book, and I right away have a question for you. What the fuck happened with Tamlin? Because on the first book we see that he was okay, maybe somewhere more weaker, somewhere more soft, somewhere more careful than Rhysand, but it's totally different person shows in the second book. I understood that it's like because Adamanta probably Amaranta. Amaranta, what is because under the mountain, he has some mental problems after this, but they all have these mental problems, and I mean, he even didn't spend so much time under the mountains that to become such a different person. And he even not a human, he's a fair. So I mean, he is very weak and fair, seems like, especially mental, because it's totally different person. So how you can see from the beginning of the book, Tamlin and Feyre, they happy living together. Tamlin made propose to the Feyre. She was, of course, agreeing and extremely happy, and they start preparing for the wedding. And it was already 3 months, and Feyre understood that she is became less and less happy because Tamlin became much more overprotected and controlling everything, every her step. And having no fear, it's this person who is fighter, and she can be just sit in the home and do like some regular female stuff. And that's the reason why all fears became freedom from the curse, because she is not this person who like to sit at home. She is a fighter. She is need to have some dangerous that or some tasks that she can like do and grow and progress. But if you put her in the house and just like say, okay, you need to care only about clothes and the house, she would start to feel worse and worse and worse, and eventually it would happen to her something bad. I mean, like it's what we actually seen in the book. Right, that she is totally lost all her emotional, and that's like first sign of the like high depression, where you need to some support of somebody at least, right? Because she is totally became plain feel about absolutely everybody and everything. I was expect that if a woman fall in love with some man and after want to make a little bit more spicy, probably after put another man, and this another man would be maybe even transparent, but in general he would be more charismatic than first one. And it makes sense, of course. Arthur did a great job, but I feel bad about Tamlin because yes, he doesn't have such a strong character how it was with Rhysand. It is true. He was a good guy, and of course, it can be everybody, the strongest one, the smartest one, the funniest one, right? He was just like normal guy. That's it. But what she did with him, it was somewhere a little bit sad because from the normal guy, he was turned to some tyranny man who is overprotected and controlled, and I understood Feyre totally because she is couldn't breathe, like physically it's impossible to breathe when somebody put you to the cage, right? It's like how it's especially with Feyre, it's like the same how to put tiger to the cage, and eventually he or will die or he will go crazy and eventually die also. I appreciate that after makes this situation in the book it's exaggerated more, it's more shows how it can be in the real life. Usually if you meet some guy who is you think they're totally perfect, that's I would say the red flag, because it's can be totally perfect person, right? And usually it's like how men like this type they doing that they make for you everything. They try that you would believe that he is the best and you start to following him, you start to trust him, and afterwards it start to be these small signals time by time happens that for example, don't go with that friend, I don't like her, it's something wrong with her. It even can be like start from the smaller stuff, I don't know, for example, like, or can I look quick on your phone, some small information, right? And it's usually like checking how you trust him. And it's like step by step it became much more over control, overprotective, and you even wouldn't find out, wouldn't realize when you already would be shot on the sketch. So that's really important to see these signals on the first stage, because otherwise it would be harder and harder to you to see and afterwards to run from this. Is how it was happened with the Feyre, because she is haven't seen this stuff and she is make a lot of excuses why it's happened this way or no way, and she was just like it that she find a Rhysand who is could help her anytime, who could feel her, but in the real life, of course, we don't have this. And this wedding day, she is going to her future husband, and she understood that she couldn't approach to him a few steps before. And she started to beg that somebody will save her from this marriage, of course, inside of her mind. And it's show up our Rhysand, and he is, of course, save her and bring to her to his court. And we see that in the court he already has attitude to her, like she is something very special to him. So here we don't see any intrigue because we already understood that they're mates with each other, right? But she is still understand, of course, because she is has all her drama with the Tamlin, and she is totally don't see what's going around here. And it's like where Rhysand says that it soon would be start the war against all the people and other fairy, because how we remember it was this like small island there called Hebron, where it was led by evil king, and this evil king he will preparing to the attack first people afterwards fairies. So Rhysand tries that Feyre would work with him because it's important. First, she would be next to him, right? And second, he is seen that she is became actually pretty strong Feyre because 7 high lords and not bring her to the life, but also give her power of each of these lords. And Feyre, she said, okay, it sounds everything interesting, but I want back to the Tamlin, to my love so far. I feel extremely bad with him, but I want to go back to him. And you actually bad guy, he said. So he is bringing her back. And on this time, Tamlin became even much more controlling, much more protective. He became like this man who is like, okay, you're a woman and you have to do everything what I would say to you because I'm the man here. and she can say no because she understood that like this like start to find these excuses that oh no, but he was like feel bad after the under the mountain, now he has some mental problems, we have these mental problems, afterwards it would be better and I still love him and blah blah blah. But that's the point, that like if you feel that something wrong, don't ignore it. It's like everything depends of your condition, and if you feel that it's like few months it's something wrong, so probably you need more pay attention and understood that what you can do that to change the situation to the better. As Rhysand, he again show up to save our Feyre because of the reason that she is promised to him that she will show up 1 week each month, and Tamlin couldn't do anything against of this because the promises, how we know, is very important on that land. Yeah, so Rhysand took her second time and she was extremely skinny, she didn't care absolutely of anything, and that's actually what was interesting because he was take her to his home second time, and he didn't was spend time with her. He was just disappear, like he was bring her to his house and afterwards disappear for 6 days and show up on the last day, and she was like whole time alone in his house. And in some way, of course, it's like not bad because you can have much more time to think through all the situation, but still humans and fairies I believe they're all social creatures. Especially when you talk with somebody, you can more easy to see from the side. When you say, when you pronounce some situation, what is bothering you, you can more clear to see what's wrong with this situation. So for me, it was a little bit strange that didn't show up at all. He just like show up on the last day. Okay, let's go to Tamlin back. Oh, you actually looks better than it was before. You see how it's good to be with me, but I wasn't with you all this time. So Rhysand bring Feyre back to the Tamlin. And last his words was fight, just fight. It's not working like this. You can just like see that somebody's struggling, somebody has like even no taste to the life at all, doesn't feel any emotional, and you just say fight. And what? it's totally nonsense. But this time, how we can understood, everything became even much worse than it was before because Tamlin, this light head, decide to lock her inside of the house with a magic. And he knows, or maybe he didn't care about this, maybe he ignored everything what it was happening with her because it was seems like this. He missed this part probably where she is afraid, panic of the locked spaces because it reminds her about cell what she has under the mountain where she was spent a lot of time. So when she understood that she is locked inside of the house, she is going crazy, she start panic a lot, and Rhysand of course feel it and come to save her like superhero. Of course. And he bring her to his house and was worry, and she was unconscious. Afterwards, she is open her eyes. He was, of course, sitting next to her and was extremely worried and nervous. And afterwards, when she is open her eyes, he just like, how do you feel? And she just like, thank you, I feel better. And what he did, he is said, okay, I have some stuff to do, I need to go. I'll see you in few days. Of course, we can say how Tamlin is bad, how he became evil character, and everything became totally bad with him, and you need to run from him. But again, Rhysand, he is known that she is his mate, and it's the most important person in his life. And without her, it wouldn't be her. And before he was said about Tamlin, that was you'll probably ignore it anyway, sweep it under the rug like everything else. He was said that like Tamlin totally doesn't see what's going on and in what condition she was. That's okay, but he kind of do the same stuff. He just left her alone with all her troubles. He just like, okay, you have to be strong, you have to fight, and that's it. Where's empathize? It's like supposed to be much more empathize than what he is doing. And when she is opened her eyes after this like extremely bad situation, he just like, oh, seems you feeling well. I need to do some business and I need to go. See you in few days. And Feyre, she is feel extremely bad. She even have struggling to get up, but still she's kind of crawling to him, just like wait, take me with you. I can't be alone, please. And he just like, I need to sing. Okay, let's go. And here's the moment where he show her the city Velaris. It's the city where wasn't war 5,000 years, and it's like shows like really cozy, beautiful old city where it's like people extremely happy. They isolated because nobody around heard about the city. It's like some has some protective magic and it's around the mountains. So nobody have no idea that this city is exist, and that's why Velaris was survived during the all wars. Also, Rhysand introduced Feyre to his inner circle, to the people who is actually rule everything. So his inner circle is also his family and friends, and it's like 4 person more: Cassian, Ezreal, Amran. Cassian and Israel, they are more for the spying and for the army. More, she is this beast who is who knows how many years she exists, like thousands and thousands. She is very powerful, and she is locked in the human, not in the Feyre body. And more, it's another high Feyre, and she is extremely powerful. We also can see that in this peaceful situation with his funny friends and this home, beautiful city Velaris, and what is the most important, he gave to her a goal and huge motivation to protect her family. Right, we remember that she has 2 sisters and father, and they are humans, and it's soon supposed to be war against all humans. So it's like huge, of course, motivation, huge reason to get up and do something. Is protect people who you love. So Rhysand, he give to her the most huge motivation what is possible, and she is start to understand that she need to fight for these people, and it became her goal, and that's how she started to feel finally better and better and better. Of course, Rhysand didn't pressure her. He just like, okay, if you couldn't do it, it's totally okay. I would be with you, and we will find what you can do here. Like, not something dangerous, but of course better if you will be on my side against this evil king. Sometimes I was feel that our Rhysand, he has bipolar, because in some way he was kind of protective. He just like, okay, if you can do it, it's totally okay. I would be with you. I would be still support you. You're the best person. And he was like very care about her, not so much care, like overprotected and control how it was Tamlin. Actually, Rhysand never controlled him. But still, he was very supportive, and it seems that he wants everything to her, and that she would be like have any harm. And in another side, he is trying to understand what kind of power she got from the other high lords, and he decided to test her, of course, if she would say yes. And of course she is saying yes, right? How it could be different. And he is sent her to the some beast and it's called River. It's kind of looks like a woman, and she is blind, but she is very evil, dangerous, and everybody afraid to come to her, even high lords afraid to come to her. And why I shouldn't my mate send to her, right? Like my mate who is only start to feel better a little bit, and who even doesn't know what kind of power and what she can to do. So High Lords even afraid to come here, but our Fairy, of course, our Fairy, who is only became a Fairy, of course, she is like can go and bring a scene of what is Rhysand told her, because he just like, okay, you have by yourself to understand what is scene belong to me, and be careful, be very silent and very careful that viewer wouldn't understand that you are there, because if it would be some high lords or some other people from them show up there, she can smell or understand who is there. But Feyre, because she has power of 7 lords, so it kind of became invisible to this viewer. So Fairy comes there, and she finds it was a ring, and she took it.
Here in my pocket. Isn't that odd now? Yet, after all, why not? Why shouldn't I keep it?
Of course, River understood that somebody there in her house, and she locked right away all doors. And she is very ugly, understood, with huge teeth. And Feyre, of course, she starts from the chimney, come to the roof, and it was successful. And it was a roof with the humans here, and inside it was some humans stuff. What is Weaver was like needle and whatever. Like I mean, everything was extremely disgusting, of course. Like, but Fairy, she was kind of lucky in this task. When she came to the rise, and he just like, oh, good job, I knew that you can do it. No doubt. And I mean, it's good when person so believe in you, but you're supposed to be more rational and understand that she was just extremely lucky. That's it. I see that this evil king, he find something what is called Coldroy, and it can do like crazy stuff. For example, it even can bring dead people to their life. And it's what happened. He is bring to the life one man who was before general in the human army, and he was dead, of course, and king bring him to the life, and he is extremely evil, and he was start to work, of course, for the king. And to destroy this Coldroy, you need to find some book. And this book, it has like two parts. One part, it was in the summer court, and second part, it belonged to the 6 mortal queens. And this is another situation where Rhysand took Amren and Feyre to the summer court, and just like, okay, Feyre, you have to find this book. Only Feyre could find this book because she could feel it like that ring, what it belonged to the Rhysand, so she could feel these books also. And they decided to come to the summer court, where it's like one part belonged. It was in some shed under the water, but when it was low tide, you could come and take this book. So Rhysand said, okay, Amren and Feyre, you can go and take this book, and I would fly and track the situation, and if it's something going wrong, I will help you. Kind of like this was the deal. So Amren and Feyre, they like was calm, and they took a book, but when they start to go, it's started going to the exit, it started to be a lot of water come, and there was shut there. They couldn't open the door. It was other creature who helped them, who had depth to the Feyre, of course. She was again lucky, and Rhysand just like, oh, is it something happened? Why are you so slowly there? You could be fast. You know? And that's what I'm saying. It's like, feels like biopolary, kind of, oh, I'm so care about you, I want that everything would be the best, but in the same time he wants that she would like make her choices and do what she wants, but in the same time it's like, I think it's a little bit exaggerated, because he was put her to the situation where she was just lucky. If she wouldn't be lucky enough, she would be died for sure, and it was kind of strange, like for me, all this stuff. I think it could be like some another way. I understood that it was everything urgent, but still I think it was supposed to be another way. So after all these challenges and adventures, Feyre find out that actually Rhysand is her mate, and he even didn't say this because she was some another beast caught. It was called Suriel, and he looks like a skeleton, and nobody could caught him except her. Only she can caught in some way, like she also thought he's lucky and caught him, and this creature, he is knows everything. So he just like, oh, actually, do you know that Rhysand is your mate? And she just like, oh, seriously? No, I haven't known. And afterwards, of course, she was feel often, and she asked Mor that Mor will find for her some safety spots that nobody could find her. Of course, Rhysand find her. The chapter 54, where he has confession that she is his mate, and actually he knew it already few years, and actually he didn't was a bad guy, he did bad stuff that protect her, right? It's like kind of strange, but okay. Anyway, this 54 chapter, it's like extremely cute. He was even cried. Well, okay, when I was reading it was like cute, now it's a little bit funny looks, but anyway. And 55 chapter, it's a spicy chapter, so if you would like to read about sex, there would be whole chapter about this. Eventually they find two parts of this book, and second part, of course, they find in the Mortal Queens, and Mortal Queens, they just like, okay, you need to prove that you're a good guy, and he decided, I'm pretty sure that if they would think something more through, they would find another proofs, but he decided to show this Velaris, this city, what it was protected 5,000 years until they show up our fear, right? So, and how I understand, Mortal Queens, they were, one of them was has a pretty brave heart, and she is gives them this book, and eventually she was tortured and killed by other mortal queens, and mortal queens, they were working for the evil king, because he was promised them that he will make them forever young. Of course, who would be rejected this white girls? And they betray Rhysand, if I can say betray, because they didn't promise actually to him. So anyway, and they told this king about Velaris, and Velaris know anymore this unknown city that nobody knows. Everybody find out about Velaris and attack this, and people there who was in peaceful lived 5,000 years understood what it means to live not so peaceful. So on the end we can see that inner circle and Rhysand with his wife already, and she is like high lady of his court became, and they show up to the king, and because they wanted to destroy this culture. There also was two sisters, to her sister, who is this culture was change them to the Feyre, right? They give to them to be immortal. and Forever Young. These two sisters, with Rhysand and his inner circle, they go back to their court to plan how to next to do steps and how to win this war. And with this king was our Tamlin work because he wanted back Feyre, even if Feyre said like, I don't want you anymore, I find another guy, I want to be with him, stop to looking for me. And he is of course not stop to looking because she doesn't understand that actually she loves him. And so eventually Tamlin took Feyre to his house. Our High Lady, she make believe Tamlin that they again together, and actually Rhysand make something with her mind that she was believes that she leaves him, but not Tamlin. But now she is destroy this curse or whatever, and now she understood that actually she loves Tamlin because she wanted just destroy him, destroyed all his course, and also understood what's going on, like to be a spy inside of his court, and to tell everything what she find out all information to the Rhysand that they could be like prepare and understand how to win this war. Smart, smart. And conclusion of this book. Overall, this book is very good, especially for this genre. It's really interesting to read. Yes, it has some strange and some situation where it could be better, maybe a little bit more logic, not so silly. But in general, it's like really great time to spend evening or days with this and just like to stop to thinking about reality and run to this fantasy romantic world with a lot of intrigues, with a lot of loves of work, right? So yeah, definitely buy this book and read it, because even if you was watching totally my video, it's and haven't read this book, I would advise strongly advise you to read this book, because it just like really because you would really good spend time, and that's very important, right? Like good spend spend a good time, right? So yeah, that's like my review for this book. Please support my channel, write comments, subscribe, put likes. See you with my next review of the book, and if you have some idea what it's supposed to be next book, please leave your comment and I will see, I will read and make review.